All right, in this next chapter, let's proceed now to um, some further new stuff, mainly here in the settings corner is where I will where we will work. Under settings, we have. I'm gonna start. Let's go with the bottom area layouts. Okay, you have some pre-configuration options that we can choose from as of how ANSA appears. So layout number one will make ANSA appear like that. So the model browser on the left is pretty much very close to how ANSA starts originally, right? So the left dock area visualized, the window, or the ANSA text window windowed like that and docked to this left-hand corner. If I switch to layout number two is this more compact way of having the text window appeared here in this single line mode. Okay, while the left dock area, okay, appears in this auto hide fashion, okay, and goes all the way to the bottom. Okay, so when it is visible, it also cuts away space from those functions, and since the window is no longer there, the text window, space is there for this to happen, right? So that's the idea of this interface. If you wonder, can I work with this text window being like that? Well, if you measure something, let's have something written over there. So you see the measurement of the distance is happening there. Okay, so you see the last information that is in apply. You see that there. But nevertheless, you can always click on this button here in order to make it large. Okay, same effect as with the window, in a windowed fashion, in order for you to pick up the text and make something with that. Okay, so this is this single line mode. The next option is under layouts, layout number 3. This is for those people that want substantial messages to be printed here. So the text window appears in this super lengthy fashion, goes all the way to the right, and less options, less flags are visible in the bottom area, just in one single line of functionality available over there. Okay, I will continue my demo with layout number 1. Since I believe in that stronger, to be honest to me, and it's a default option anyways. Okay, so that was about that. That was the bottom area layouts. We will also see this option here, change layout, that's called. Have in mind that switching from one ANSA layout to another previously would require a combination of other actions. Now I can choose that, and I can switch to CFD, for instance, while I'm on the go. Switch to CFD, perform a certain collaboration action with a person, communicate something in the domain of CFD, and eventually, switch back to my original layout. Where was I? Here I was. Okay, and continue my work from there. So I can do that pretty much on the fly. Okay? Very well. So that was about that. Bottom change of the layout and bottom area layouts. Now let's have a look at the settings of ANSA. Okay, the standard settings of ANSA. Not too many surprises here, but nevertheless there are some important changes, and the important changes relate to the fact that there are no presentation parameters anymore the way we used to know them. So let's check them out. I'm talking about let's go to the F11 menu. Okay, in version 24 and beyond and back, the presentation parameters F11 brings up shells, solid criteria, the graph parameters, the control of the graph that appears here on the right. Okay, and presentation parameters like how to draw beams and such, how to draw coordinate systems, and the detail on demand effect. Okay, how is this now in version 25? In version 25, we have the presentation parameters, okay, appear as option next to the flag of the entity they meant to affect. So for example, in this model that I have in front of me, okay, let's focus on this corner. I have some shells over here, right? And the shells flag is here. Notice that there is another difference with previous ANSA. We do not have a geometry and an FE generic switch any longer, okay, or this generic switch. Why this switch has been opened up, so we have shells, we have solids, we have line elements, grids, coordinate system, and masses, and the corresponding flag that controls that was previously under the presentation parameters appears now here as, for example, this option here, the draw shell, a solid. I can activate it like that, all right, and here I am. I have these options available right next to the options to the element visibility that it corresponds to, and that way I have a much more direct way of controlling these. For those of you that want the old FE, switch off all FE or switch on all FE like in previous ANSA versions, okay, we still have this flag over there that massively switches on and off the full FE structure, okay, and that's what's come close to that. So yeah, check this out like this. All right, let me visualize FE again. I'm going back to the draw shells as solid. Is there a dialog for these options? Well, that has all the presentations parameters available. Yes, there is. You have this little line here, but this is nothing more than a shortcut, one might say, to the corresponding paragraph under settings. So here you have the presentation parameters. So all those options that appear here at the bottom as a dialog, they can be set up here too. Save your defaults, and there you go. You're ready to work. Okay. Meshing settings have become one dialog together with the quality criteria. Okay. F11 visualizes exactly this dialog, meshing settings. So surface and volume mesh criteria are here. Surface and volume mesh parameters are here. Shell and solid criteria next to the corresponding mesh parameters. So I have one dialog dictating pretty much the whole thing. And the idea is that, the criteria are also mesh settings. Okay, so we have one set of dialog for this. One thing we left is the parameters that were available under graph parameters. Okay, these parameters. Now these parameters appear still. But as part of this, wait a minute, I want to draw element thickness. I need to go to LSI now. I want to draw element thickness. Okay, here is the fringe bar. Okay, so there you go. Here I have the options and as well as the color bar options. That's how I would access the graph settings as I know it from the previous versions. Okay, so here we have this covered. I think I got them all. Yes, I got them all. Okay, we went through all of these settings. Now, some words about the flags here at the bottom, in particular about flags. We have some new ones. This is this complete FE structure toolbar. We saw that. We also have some new entries here under the connections. which is the connectors visibility and the visualization of interface points. Then we have a new bar here which controls the visibility of analysis parameters such as boundary conditions and loadings. Then the ANSA auxiliaries that controls work planes visibility, cross sections, cutting planes, okay, measurements that you did, okay. No, I need to store one. Okay, and now that I'm like that, measurements, visibility, and of course the corresponding visualizations options, all of it like that. And that's pretty much it. Very, very important in this version is also the fact that mesh quality checking, the hidden flag, okay, which is this one, okay, that makes the shell mesh control based on skewness, warping, and what have you. Okay, so this kind of controlling, this is accessible in the new version from this draw mode, okay, which is the default draw mode that appears by hitting on this fringe flag anyways. All right, so here I am, and I can visualize bad elements like that. So here in my quality monitor, which is the corresponding widget, the widget that collects, the idea is that it collects all various messages about what's going on quality wise in the entities that are drawn. It includes these quality criteria selections, which one should be drawn, actions like show only worst, okay, is applicable, find me to the worst spot, okay, or I do that for the overall elements, show me from those 500 do a show only on the 500 off elements, or bring me directly to the worst one by taking into account all the values. So here you are. This is the quality monitor and in this little widget. New thing here is that you can expand and collapse this thing as well in case this acquires too much space. So you can work in this fashion until you and save have some more space in your GL area. Okay, and there you go, another new feature related to this.